Hey everyone, so I'm back today to do a tag video for you all, and today's tag is the BookTube Partners tag, which was created by MsBookishBeauty and her friend Ashley Hartz Books, I think are the channels. And basically, you have to get a partner who is also a booktuber, and you ask each other questions, 10 book-related questions and 2 personal questions, and then you make a video to answer those questions. I'm doing this tag with Kassidy Voinche. I will leave a link to her video down below, and hopefully you all enjoy both of these videos. I'm super excited to do this, so I'll just get right into the questions that she has asked me. Now, the questions that she has given me to answer were actually some very tough for me. Like, I had to really think about some of them. So we'll just see how it goes. Question number 1 is, what is your favorite time of day to read? Now, I don't really have like a favorite time of day. Like, I read whenever I get the chance, and that is usually at night, because I'm a bit of a night owl. I hate mornings, so I don't get up to read. I hate mornings, so I love reading at night, so I guess that is my favorite time of day. But if it's a really nice day and I don't have to work, then I love to go out by my pool with a good book and just lay out in the sun, just read for an hour or two, and I get through the book pretty quickly. So I guess my favorite time of day to read is definitely at night, because I can just chill and relax in my bed and it's all comfortable. Question number 2 is, do you care if your book series match physically, all same cover design, and or all hardback or paperback? No, I don't really care necessarily. I do have multiple series where I have paperback starting out and then hardcover, because if I love the series and the other books aren't out yet, then I just buy it as soon as it comes out. So I have paperback and hardback. I just can't see myself buying the paperback or the hardback to match the other ones when I already have a copy of the book. I mean, I know a lot of people do that, and that's fine. I just prefer to spend my money on books that I don't already have. I do actually have a couple books where I knew that I was going to love them, so I just bought the hardcover anyway, because I like how hardcovers look and all. So if I know I'm going to like the series, then I'll buy the hardcover and, you know, just kind of try to buy the rest of the hardcovers at least. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way, but I don't necessarily care if they match. As for cover design, I do get a little annoyed when the covers don't match at all. There are going to be a couple of my series where they don't match, but I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. I just hate when that's the publisher's problem and the cover design people. Like, why change the cover for a series or a book when it's the last book in the freaking series? Don't do that, because now people are going to be so upset about it, and it doesn't look good on a shelf. But personally, I don't really care if it matches. I just get a little annoyed when they don't. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of contradicting what I'm saying. Question number 3. Has a book ever made you laugh out loud? If so, which one? And this one I actually had to think about, because there have been multiple books where I laughed out loud and like giggled to myself, but I couldn't really think of them off of the top of my head. But I did think of one that I read recently and I loved, and it is called Spirit and Dust by Rosemary Clement Moore, and it is about a girl named Daisy Goodnight who can see and talk to the dead. She works with the FBI and tries to figure out murders and stuff like that. So it's really, really cool, and she is an awesome character. Daisy is. She is so awesome. She has like this particular voice to herself, to her character, and she is sarcastic, which made me laugh multiple times, and she's just really, really funny, and I did laugh out loud multiple times. Question number 4. Have you ever loved a series / book right after finishing it, but later realized it wasn't that good? Now, this one, I might get some hate comments but also some people will not be surprised by this one. I remember when I first got this particular book, I was in 8th grade, and there was a book sale at my school. When I saw this book, I'm like, oh, I heard so many great things about that. I should buy it, and I did, and I read it, and I loved it, and I read the rest of the series, and I loved it. And then, this is my own personal opinion, because I read it before it became, like a huge thing, and before the movies were made, but then I realized, I'm like, you know, those weren't really written that well. No, not at all. And can you guys guess which one it is? Anybody? I loved it when I first read it. I read it in probably 2 days, and then I got New Moon, and I read it in a day, and then I got Eclipse, and I read that in like 2 days, and then my brother got me Breaking Dawn, and oh my god, I love this series, I loved it. And then after finishing it, and my sister started to read it, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, you know, that wasn't that good, but it kept me reading. And it did keep me reading, but it's not the greatest book in the world. For the people who love Twilight, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, don't hate me. Question number 5. Which character from a book feels like they could be a real person? The character that I chose for this question was Rose Hathaway from the Vampire Academy series. This is one of my favorite series of all time, and I absolutely adore all the characters in it. Rose is such a strong female protagonist, and she's not like one of those wimpy, like, save me kind of girls. She is kick-ass. I love her so much. I totally wish I could be here. But, plus she has Dimitri. Just saying. But I remember when I read this book, and all the ones after it, and Rose is described, and Rose is doing stuff, and everything that Rose does, I feel like I'm watching a movie when I read this book, and which is awesome because the movie's coming out. Just this character feels like she's right there next to me, and just I wish she was a real person, okay? Because I wish she was my best friend, and she would introduce me to Dimitri, because I would love that, even though she has him, which is upsetting, but I do really think that she could possibly be a real person. Next question. What book have you read that made you feel the most accomplished? This one was super easy for me to pick, and that is A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. And I love fantasy, so it's not so much the genre that got me, because fantasy is my favorite genre. It was the length of the book in particular, and just and the words are just so close together, and there's so much on the page, and so much is going on in the book that I didn't know if I could do it. But I heard people loved this book, and when I first heard about it, I'm like, that sounds like up my alley, like I could read that. And then I realized the length of the book. First of all, the length is just so daunting. I know that's what a lot of people say, but if you pick it up and you start reading it, you will love it, most likely. I mean, there are some parts where it kind of slows down a little, and you're gonna have to push yourself to finish it, but trust me, I just finished the 3rd book like a couple months ago, and it was amazing. It's the best book in the entire series. So if you push yourself through A Game of Thrones and A Clash of Kings, and you get to Stone Swords, then you are going to absolutely adore the series. Like, from the 1st book, I adored it, and I felt most accomplished from reading this because it was so long, and I actually did it, and I was in the mix with everybody else who has read this book. And then I started watching the series on HBO, and it's just as good. Question number 7. What is your favorite book-to-movie adaptation? This is going to be no surprise to anybody, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people love the book-to-movie adaptation of these books. and that is the Harry Potter series. Like, there's no question in my mind that it's definitely the Harry Potter series. Now, I wasn't in the mix of all the Harry Potter readers from when everybody was young and little and stuff. I just recently finished the series last summer, I think. And I had watched all the movies beforehand. So I knew what was going to happen. So I was a little worried that the books would be boring to me because I would know what was going to be happening. But they weren't boring whatsoever. The books are just amazing. And the movies are, like, just as good. Granted, the books are better in some parts. Which is no surprise because books are usually better than the movies anyway. I just love the Harry Potter world, and the characters are amazing, and just seeing all the fight scenes and all the spells come alive on the big screen. I know I read the books afterwards, but now that I've read them and saw the movies, I am a huge Harry Potter fan. So definitely my favorite book to movie adaptation is Harry Potter for sure. Question number 8. Do you look at reading differently now that you have a BookTube channel? And no, I don't, because I have always been a reader, and I will always be a reader. Just the BookTube channel has added to the sharing of my love for reading, which is amazing, because now I can share my favorite books and my favorite authors, and I can just talk to fellow book lovers. So it doesn't necessarily change how I feel about reading, but it has made it better. Question number 9. What is a book you thought you wouldn't like, but did? For this question, I chose Wither by Lauren DeStefano. Now, a lot of people don't like Wither, and when I saw this book in the store for really cheap, I thought I would just pick it up, because the cover's amazing, so having this in my collection would be great. So I just picked it up because of that, not necessarily the reviews. And a lot of people say that they don't like the book whatsoever. But I decided to pick it up one day, and I read it, and I actually really enjoyed it. Granted, I can see why people wouldn't like it, but for some reason, I just thought it was a great dystopian read for me. I don't know why, to be honest. The characters aren't even that strong or anything. I just thought I guess it was the idea of the book and the storyline that got me. So, a lot of people said they didn't like it, so that's why I thought I wouldn't like it. But then I read it, and it wasn't that bad. And I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It's one of my first reviews, so if you want to check that out, you can, but it's really bad. Question number 10, the last question for the book section of the questions, is do your friends and family know about your BookTube channel? No, they do not know at all. I have been wanting to tell them, but I'm just scared, I guess, or nervous about what they would think about it. I don't really want to walk downstairs or into my sister's room and just see her watching one of my videos, because I talk to her about books anyway, so why would she watch one of my videos? And I don't know what they would think, so I was just always nervous to tell them, and I don't know when I will tell them, probably when I go to college, that way I can't see them face to face. But I do talk to my mom about the whole BookTube community, and because she knows I love books, and she mentioned one time, she's like, oh, why don't you make a channel and do some videos? She's like, I can help you get all pretty and dolled up, and I just thought to myself, I'm like, well, I already have like 20 videos up, so that's not a problem. But I'm just nervous to tell them, I guess. And so no, they don't know about my channel. I kind of hide. Like, I come into my room and I lock the door and I talk as quietly as I can, and then if somebody knocks on the door, I like stop the video and yeah. Don't judge me. Now on to the 2 personal questions. Question 1 is, who is your all-time favorite band / singer? Now, this is a really hard question because I go through phases, and one time I really like this singer and I love this particular song, and then another time I would go to a different one and they're my new favorite singer. It's basically what the song is, I guess, but I have 3 people come to mind, slash bands come to mind when I think of like the songs I listen to. I listen to a lot of Ed Sheeran. Yeah, right? I listen to a lot of his music. I really like Lego House. So I guess he might be one of my favorites. And then I like Jason Derulo's songs. Plus he's a great dancer and I like watching his videos. And then for band, I like Imagine Dragons because I really like their new, I don't know if this is their newest, but Radioactive. I really like that song. So Imagine Dragons is kind of up there too. So it's not, I don't really have like an all-time favorite singer slash band. Final question is, what is your favorite place that you have traveled? Now, I haven't been anywhere outside the U.S. Well, I've been to Canada, but that was a while ago. I haven't been anywhere outside the U.S., but I have been to the Midwest, I guess. Yeah, and I think the furthest I went was Wyoming, I think. But my favorite place when I went traveling was Yellowstone National Park. It is so beautiful there and gorgeous, and there's so much wildlife. We saw grizzly bears and we heard wolves, and wolves were like on the opposite side of a creek on a hill from where we were camping. So that was really freaky, first of all, but it was so cool and awesome. The campsite was beautiful. The only thing is, if you're going to freaking Yellowstone, then it's like really warm. Don't be fooled by the warmth during the day because it gets freaking freezing at night. And we didn't realize that. And I was freezing my ass off. So if you plan on going to Yellowstone, definitely bring some warm clothing. I also remember we went up, my last name is Washburn, and we climbed Washburn Mountain, which is awesome that a mountain has the same name as us. We climbed it, and I remember coming back down, and I had gotten a huge sunburn. Huge. And it was really, really bad, and it was so uncomfortable. And I remember sleeping at night, or trying to get to sleep because it was so freezing, that the sunburn actually kept me warm. Yeah, that's how bad the sunburn was. So Yellowstone National Park was definitely my favorite place that I've traveled to so far. So that was my BookTube Partners tag. I hope you all enjoyed it. I will leave a link down below to Kassidy's video of her answering the questions that I gave her. So definitely go check that out. She's awesome, so you should check her out anyway. Please like this video, comment on it, and ask some more questions for me too, and I'll answer them. And please subscribe if you're not already one of my lovely subscribers. I love you all. I will see you all in my next video. Bye!